Now, Richard, have you ever done therapy before?
Have I done therapy before? Yes.
And what did you get out of it?
That I'm always right. Look, that's a funny story. I remember in my 20s when I was married, me and my wife at that time, we did marriage counseling, which was her idea, and all the things that I say we should be doing and what the situations were, and I tried to correct in our marriage before it got on the rocks. The therapist said the exact same thing to the point where the session kind of just exploded and blew up, and she almost thought that I knew the therapist. It turned from her idea to the worst thing that ever happened. So I've done it on that end, and I had another situation. It's weird. I laughed about it, but now you got me really thinking. It's happened twice. Mm-hmm. And the same thing kind of happened twice. I had another situation where I was dating a young lady and she tried to portray as if I had a lot of mental and emotional damage and I was crazy and I wasn't thinking clear about our relationship. Two girls in a relationship. So she said, I needed to go to therapy. So I go to therapy and I'm talking to the therapist and I'm telling her everything, just spilling them and the more she's talking, she's like, well, you need to come back for another session. Go back for another session. I tell her everything again. She, come back for another session. Tell me more. I tell her more. And it got to the point where the therapist said, you need to break up with her. She's lucky to have you.
Oh, wow.
If I wasn't married, I would want to date you because the stuff that you're telling me about is things that most women wish that a man would do for them and that you're fighting to try to prove yourself to her and this is what you are. Dude, so it went from that trip to and then I didn't know how to break up with her till the therapist talked to me and coached me how to break up with a girl. It was crazy. I'm like, had she known that she was sending me to the death of our relationship, she'd never told me to go do that.
But that goes back to, I think, a common thing, and I don't know if it's a theme that's out there with just women or collectively. We know because we've lived such a long that people struggle to be accountable.
Yes.
Hold
on, what is that? Like?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My grandfather said everybody got something to say until you put accountability on until nobody want to eat that.
Correct. Nobody, bro.
They don't like responsibility or accountability.
Or consistency.
Oh, my gosh. Why do you think so many people or people in general have missed the message in your actions at times and even with your words to better them? Because I know it's very common amongst ignorant people, to say the least, but people who think life's supposed to be some specific way, when in retrospect, what I tell people, I say, look, very few things you're going to be able to do for me. Mm-hmm. If I show up, I came to give, and I'm going to help as best I can. Then I'm going to walk away.
Yeah.
But don't think you're doing me no favor because I get up and I'm at it every day.
Every day.
Because the rent is due.
Yes.
So in your case, why do you think some people struggle with accountability? Because right away, points a finger at you, says go to therapy, you go and at least try. The theme here is, hey, I tried to at least do what was recommended to see if that would salvage this relationship or at least give me another perspective. Maybe I am missing something, right?
Correct.
And then the therapist is like, no.
Yeah, bro, that was comical. But Trev, to answer your question is simple. It's so much easier to point the finger because there's one pointing this way and there's 3 pointing back than to look at yourself first. So it's easier for, in situations where relationships, dating a girl or my partners, it's easier for somebody to point the blame and the cause and the negativity on you compared to looking at themselves first to try to fix, rectify, or correct any situation that y'all are in together. So it's been easier to push the burden on somebody else. And I'm a person to where I love self-reflecting and I love trying to find ways to self-improve. So I've always been open-minded to, that's what you think? That's what you feel? Okay, I'll try it. I'll open my mind to it. I'm not, no, I ain't doing it. That's never been me. I'm not a closed-minded type person. So it's easier to point the finger. It's easier to put the blame and force the accountability on somebody else than put it on themselves. It's easier.
And where did you learn to both be accountable and even more importantly, kind of just be upfront, honest, and truthful? Because I feel like I forget a lot of stuff I say because I ain't got to remember it. When you tell the truth, you just you tell the truth and you go to sleep. You know, like, oh, well, remember, boy, didn't I tell you such and such? Or girl, didn't I tell you such and such? So in your case, where did you learn that accountability is a way? Because what people might fail to realize too, in order to become successful, be seen, put money in the bank, help create your dream or your path, you have to account for everything.
Correct.
I mean, it ain't just like, hey, you did it. No. If nobody's around and you don't account for your losses, your wins, your lack of infrastructure, nothing even gets off the ground, right?
Correct.
If I don't post, they say post 3 to 5 times a day. In my case, I'm like, if I don't post value, who cares?
Yes.
If I don't teach them, and then even if I'm not having fun, so it's always fun and a blast when you're here. But where did you learn that, like, to hold yourself accountable and be honest in your approach to life?
Sports. Sports. Being an athlete, being in team environments, and to where I knew my teammate beside me was counting on me to do my part, to make my block, to make my tackle, to do my conditioning, to eat my diet right. When I knew other people was counting on me from a kid playing sports to all the way through college, I understand that I got to do the stuff behind the scenes and take those extra steps. And I got to know that somebody else is relying and counting on me to do my part and do it at a high level, not just check the box, do it at an extremely high level to the best of my ability. I learned that through sports. And that's something why I feel like every kid should be in some team environment too, where they understand winning and losing, and they understand doing the work and the extra work and showing up early for practice and staying late for practice, why all that stuff really matters. I mean, that's how I learned accountability, is just through sports.
So it started with the team. How do you want it to end, man?
That's a good question. How do I want to end? I would love to be able to raise the bar on just a person's belief in themselves, to where they know things are physically possible and they can accomplish whatever it is they set their mind to, by showing them a young black poor kid from Portsmouth, Virginia, that didn't have a pot to piss in and wanted to throw it out of where I came from to where I'm going, by working my ass off and holding myself accountable and being respectful to people and just putting in the work and just staying consistent and focused and being curious and having dreams. I want people to see these things. That's why I share them. It's not to be cocky or arrogant about it. I want to motivate and inspire people.
Don't ever defend your life. You don't have to. Yeah. Sometimes, me personally, I feel like black people do that more than others, and we don't applaud ourselves enough. And you've overcome a lot. Yeah. But you've been around wealthy white folks, and just weekend and saying that. One thing I see them do, even community-wise, they're always doing some awards program or clapping for each other. They always got some awards ceremony going on.
Very true.
Hence the BET Awards, but everybody want to go to the Grammys.
Yes.
Or the Oscars, So you go, hey, look, you have to be, I think, to change anything, as you know, you need a little bit of an ego.
Yeah.
Now, it's not filled with pride, but you got to be like, yo, I know I'm good at this, and you're good because of everything that had to happen, right?
Yes.
So I think a lot of times it's like we should never, which we don't really, you can't defend your success.
Yeah.
Because it could have been very well the opposite.
The opposite. Right? That's a fact, dude. And I've seen a lot of my partners where it was the opposite. So, but it's hard for me to find that fine line to where being humble and being arrogant, cocky. So I try to just be more modest than anything.
I would say no humility, man. Yeah. To be to show or be humble is to show and make people feel like you're less than them, and we can't do that either. Yeah. Because then we have nothing to aspire to be. It'd be like Michael Jordan not being the greatest. Correct. Or busting your ass. You know what I mean? Or any of the things that you've been a part of as well. And it has been a true pleasure, to say the least, to be a part of and watch your success. Yeah. And so this is a question I think pops up on social media at times, but it's a question I'm going to ask you, because there are things, we wish we knew them at 5 and we were going through them at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And we knew what was happening, we didn't know. What's one thing you would tell your younger self when that first moment of what the hell is going on in my life? Why is this happening to me? Happen if you could go back to that kid between 5 and 10 that you were? What would you tell yourself, man? Oh, man. Don't be so angry. Learn how to process your emotion, in your just how to process your thought and emotion. Don't be so angry. Like, I was an angry kid, and I was angry because I felt
and I knew that I was being mistreated. And I felt and I knew that I had a proper support from the people that's supposed to be supporting me. And I saw other kids getting that, and it made me jealous of them. It made me not like them. And as a kid, I was a little bit of a bully to those type of people. Like, I ain't like kids that had parents that did good things for them and supported them and had school clothes and school shoes. So I was angry, and I was angry at my parents for not giving me the things that I felt that I needed as a kid. Like, just don't be angry, process your thoughts, know how to channel that energy, that negative energy, to a positive energy to make a more positive impact, and learn how to do things for myself at an earlier age in life to be able to advance. Like,
but isn't that the part? Now that's the part of the story that was fairly unfair, right?
Yeah.
Because as a kid, we are supposed to be protected, supported, loved,
Correct.
Shown compassion, and be, disciplined. Discipline at times, I repeat, is just someone showing up and being consistent, and their style of communication or just being there with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get that 100% because I grew up an angry child as well.
Yeah.
But nobody was there to protect you, man.
No, it's weird. They were there, but not really. They were there to protect me more so physically, but not protect my emotions.
Let me ask you this then. When was the first time you learned compassion or to be compassionate towards people?
It had to be one of the families that I lived with growing up. It was a lady named Joellen. And she was the sweetest person, and she showed me compassion, and she showed me love in a way that it was real motherly love. It was weird. It was so attractive to me to have it, and it felt so good to have some type of compassion and understanding, like that you felt like somebody really cared about your heart. And she did everything she could to touch it and hold it, and if I needed her, she was there for me. Like, it was a pretty intimate, emotional relationship with her. She was like my mom.
And is that was that one of the beginning stages to calming yourself down a little bit?
Yes. The first stage was when I was 11, 12 years old. The military man that I was telling you about before, the first black Master Chief in the Navy, he saw the aggression and the frustration and the anger that I had 11, 12 years old. And he used to always try to help me through it, to the point where he put me and his sons into taking karate classes at that age, and going through karate helped me be able to channel a lot of my anger and energy at that time in the right directions, and be able to control it more, because that's something that they teach you. So that was the first step, and she was a different side of it. She was more of an emotional and support and loving side of the energy and anger that I had inside of me.
Now, as we close this particular part out, Richard, how do you feel about doing this style of sit down and just kind of sharing your life's journey with people?
Trev, it puts me to where I feel naked to a degree, to be able to open up old wounds, old hurt, and to be able to share them and think back about it on how I felt at that moment. I can still feel it, and I can still get angry, and I can still get emotional. So it opens me up, but in the same breath, I like being uncomfortable about it, because hopefully suicide is a real thing. And there's times where people that may not have been mentally strong or emotionally as strong as I am may be able to hear this, and it protects, saves, and helps them process their emotion, anger, energy, or depression that they could be in, to get through it, to don't do something that they can't reverse. So I'm okay with it, but I feel really open.